when they talk of systemic failures or fire brigade condemned for failings at Grenfell. It's an odd word to use in the context of such an epic tragedy, but what we're looking at here is management issues and chains of command and decisions being taken in the heat of the moment that, with the benefit of proper consideration and contemplation, perhaps would not have been taken. But the bottom line is, as we discovered within hours of this tragedy unfolding, we came on air that morning in a state of shock and took calls almost immediately from firefighters who had been in that building. I think the first call we took that day was from someone who'd just come out. They told us tales of breaking rules with regard to their own health and safety legislation. They told us tales of people, well, we learnt very quickly of people who obeyed an instruction to stay put, and the suspicion, as the full details of the tragedy began to emerge, the suspicion solidified that some of them would have survived if they had ignored those instructions. We spoke and have spoken subsequently to people who chose to ignore those instructions. I don't know about you, but I will never forget. I hesitate even to say the words out loud now. The chap who told us about making his way down the stairs and stepping over. Forgive me if you've got young people with you in the car or something like that. This is an unpleasant image that I'm going to share with you. Stepping over bodies and not knowing whether those bodies were dead, dying, or somehow alive. I don't know how you negotiate the tension here between the epic bravery of firefighters, the unbelievable bravery, a bravery above and beyond what most of us will ever be called upon even to contemplate, and they every single day are aware of the possibility of facing something like this. Every single day, every time they turn up at work. And what's the worst that can happen to you at work? Every single day. This is a possibility. But how do you negotiate without succumbing to sentimentality? How do you negotiate it's close to a fact from what we've seen of this report that the official report, the official inquiry in its first formalised publication has essentially concluded not only that residents, I'm choosing my words very carefully, and if I get it wrong, I'll apologise immediately. Not only have residents been let down by the fire brigade management, I think firefighters have been as well. And yet, offering any word of criticism to the organisation whose members run into the buildings that we run out of feels horribly inappropriate to me. It's just grim on every level. And the idea that families would have been waiting for this report with hope wouldn't be the right word, would it? But with at least an expectation of information, of not closure, but perhaps illumination. And instead, they are today contemplating the decision by the editor of the Daily Telegraph to ride roughshod over their feelings, their grief and their loss, and try to prop up the sales of a failing newspaper by essentially exploiting a report that they had no right to publish.